Good evening. I'm calling this April 20th, 2026 meeting of the Fort Vancouver Regional Library Board of Trustees to order. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved. So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Miranda, I move this to the vote.
I'm Rita Kakarita.
Aye.
Christy Morgan.
Aye.
I'll just talk
Megan
loud.
Newton.
Aye. The motion to approve the agenda is approved. So before into the main business of the meeting tonight, I'd like to take a moment to recognize National Library Week, which is a time to celebrate libraries and, more importantly, the people who make them come alive every day. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to express our deep appreciation for FVRL library staff. Your work goes far beyond what most people see. You are educators, problem solvers, community builders, and a steady, welcoming presence for those who need it most. Whether you're helping a child discover the joy of reading, guiding someone through new technology, supporting lifelong learning, or keeping operations running behind the scenes, your impact reaches across our entire community. You make this library not just a place, but a resource, a refuge, and a connection point. We know that your work requires adaptability, creativity, and deep empathy. So tonight, we simply want to say thank you for your dedication, your professionalism, and your commitment to serving our community so well. Would everyone please join me in recognizing our incredible library staff? And next on the agenda, we will hear public comments. So we will take up to 1 hour for public comments. Each person called will have up to 2 minutes to speak. When called, please stand on the red X, which is there by the microphone, and direct your comments to the board. Please tell us your first and last name when you begin.
Start with our online commenters. We're looking for Kristen Buter.
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Hello and happy National Library Week. I'm grateful that all of us are here because we care for our communities and believe in the value of libraries. My name is Kristen. I am a Vancouver resident and taxpayer, and I am here in my capacity as a concerned library worker in this district. On mornings when I'm staffing the desk on the children's floor at the downtown library, I welcome each child and caregiver as they come in during the 9 o'clock hour. Some mornings, my coworkers and I smile and wave at what we call the baby parade. This occurs when littles and caregivers walk from the Early Learning Center on one end of the floor and follow the breadcrumb lights to one of our weekly story times, where a skilled staff member will lead the children and their caregivers through thoughtfully chosen books and early literacy exercises. It is extremely popular and we reach capacity most days of the week. We are the Early Learning Center library with this popular attraction and our amazing programs for our families who attend each week and sometimes multiple days a week. Many families leave around 11 or 11:30 for lunch or nap time. They were up early already and they've been enjoying the library for a couple of hours, and this suits their routines. We keep hourly stats, which staff would be happy to share with you. And one thing we notice is that many families are in the Early Learning Center in the 9 o'clock hour. Just the other day, we had 20 people. And the district is moving to a model of open hours in which all libraries will be open no earlier than 10 a.m. And I see this as a kind of disservice to our patrons who need the earlier hour as part of their routine and access to the library. Our community voted for expanded hours. And while we have wonderfully added Sunday and evening open hours to many locations, at the downtown branch, we are only gaining 2 hours on a Monday night, and both the downtown and the Cascade Park branch were taking away a morning hour. The families I serve do not want their 9 a.m. hour taken away. Our elders who are up early do not want the 9 a.m. hour removed. And this is a disservice to our patrons who spent the night sleeping outside. I ask that you reconsider the open hours model to include the 9 a.m. hour to best serve our patrons. Thank you.
Next up, we have Jamie Dare. Jamie, are you there? You can unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Hooray! My name's Jamie Bear. My pronouns are they, them. I'm a registered voter in Vancouver, Clark County, and a public services librarian with 16 years of experience. A decade of that time has been spent serving the communities of FVRL. I'm speaking here on behalf of Union Labor as president of AFSCME Local 307L, representing librarians and supervisors at FVRL who work with the public every day to make sure our communities thrive. Our ability to do our work is being compromised due to this board's handling of the library strategic plan. The decisions made by the board are impacting public trust on our library system. The strategic plan represented a significant investment of money, time, and staff, including $400,000 of taxpayer money, 10 months, and the input of staff, consultants, and community members. This library board rejected the strategic plan as written due to the inclusion of the word equity. This action from the library board has brought into question this organization's integrity. Now the most beloved and dedicated group of community members, the library's library friends groups, have voted no confidence in the board from Goldendale to La Center. But the work of the public library continues. As per the FVRL strategic plan's priority, operational excellence, goal 2, foster a culture of learning and continuous growth, I represented FVRL at the 2026 Public Library Association Annual Conference. 6,000 devoted public library workers came together for a week of learning and growth. Across all sessions, a consistent theme emerged. Libraries must continue to evolve services, technologies, and partnerships while staying grounded in their core values: privacy, intellectual freedom, equity, and community trust. Strategic priorities are most effective when these values are embedded across operations, programs, collections, and spaces. FVRL's path forward is not about isolated initiatives, it's about integration. Equity, access, advocacy, and operations need to be aligned into a unified approach. By centering community needs, investing in staff, and upholding its role as a trusted public institution, FVRL can continue to expand its impact while remaining grounded in its core values. Thank you.
Next up, we have Quill Onstead online. Quill, you may unmute.
Hi, my name is Quill Onstead and my pronouns are they, them. I'm here to speak in support of Drag Queen Story Hour as a genderqueer member of the library community. Contrary to the many public comments made over the years, being trans is not a political agenda. Our existence has been made political by others outside the community who needed a new boogeyman for their own agendas. All trans people want is to live our lives free from discrimination. You don't have to like us or approve of us, just respect our right to exist. Charlotte Clymer is a queer transgender writer. She also identifies as a Texan, a Christian, and an Army veteran. She said, "I genuinely hope that anti-trans folks someday experience the joy and liberation of being comfortable enough in your own skin, enough to know that the liberation of others is no threat to you. Equality is not a pie. There is more than enough for everyone." Drag Queen Story Hour is a vital program that teaches kids about gender identity in an age-appropriate manner. Parents who do not approve of Drag Queen Story Hour do not have to bring their children to any Drag Queen Story Hour programs. Please allow the staff of FVRL Libraries to present Drag Queen Story Hour and have the district live up to the ideals espoused in FVRL Libraries' equity statement. Thank you for your service to the community.
All for our online folks. So in the room, Jean Kent. Jean will be followed by Stephanie Sanchez, followed by Deanna Tan.
Do we want this hello?
My name is Jean Kent. My name is Jean Kent. The Friends of the Cascade Park Community Library agreed that we must state our concerns about your conduct and judgment. At our March 19th, 2026 monthly meeting, the members who were present approved and voted to advise you of the following. The members of the FVRL Library Board of Trustees violated the trustee ethics and responsibilities policy by disregarding the community's input and ignoring the outcome of the publicly funded 10-month strategic planning process. We ask the Clark County Council to evaluate whether each trustee possesses the commitment to support the mission of a public library in a free society as stated in the trustee ethics and responsibility policy. We ask you, each member of the Board of Trustees, to ask yourself if you are committed to the trustee ethics. Will you do your job and follow the rules? If not, please resign. The second half of our statement will be read by Stephanie Sanchez.
Stephanie Sanchez.
Hi. Jean and I are both members of the board of the Cascade Park Library.
You have to get a little bit close.
Okay. As advocates for library service and programs, we, the Friends of the Cascade Park Community Library, support the library's role in our community to be welcoming and responsive, with a commitment to equal and equitable access for all. Despite the changes by a group of trustees to eliminate equitable access and weaken intellectual freedom, the goals and objectives of the strategic plan 2026 to 2030 remain intact and provide the framework for the FVRL libraries to steadily champion equitable access to literacy and lifelong learning for all. We, the Friends of the Cascade Park Community Library, do endorse the statements approved to date by the Friends of White Salmon, Battleground, Vancouver Community, Yakult Library Express, and of La Center Community Library, all expressing a vote of no confidence in the FVR Libraries Board of Trustees. Thank you.
Next up, Deanna Catan. Deanna will be followed by Margot Logan, followed by Nancy Potter.
Oh,
It's not a good stand, I don't think.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, you have to hold it closer.
Can I hold it?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Hello, my name is Deanna Catan. Today I'm here to talk about words. The end of the last meeting got me thinking about words and their meanings. The meeting ended with Trustee Hodges using a Ukrainian word to describe the mood she saw in the room. She tried to relay the meaning of the words to us with a description. Those of us who speak other languages know these words, ones that carry specific meaning no translation can fully capture. Regardless of the breadth or precision of your vocabulary, it is not possible to relay the true meaning. This is exactly what this board did to our strategic plan. The trustees who voted in favor of the amended language chose to describe an idea while leaving out the actual words that describe it. We open doors. Sure, we can open doors. Is that during business hours? Who knows? We provide access to literacy and learning for all. That sounds great too. How? This doesn't suggest we need more bookmobiles. After all, our doors are open, so our rural community members can just come in. We are committed to upholding the rights to intellectual freedom and access for all in a manner that honors the primary role of parents and guardians. Well, that sounds nice. Whose parents are we honoring, though? Do you get to choose for my children, or do I get to choose for yours? In real life, parents vary in their preferences and care for their children. And that matters because according to the National Children's Alliance, of the over 4,000 substantiated abuse and neglect cases, 76% were perpetrated by a parent or legal guardian. You see, the meaning of words matters, and so does the impact of removing them. Brene Brown says, clear is kind. What this board did is the opposite. When you voted to dilute the language of our strategic plan, you voted to allocate our resources and direct the staff to implement goals that you refuse to name, without guidance, without clarity. That is not leadership. That is abdication of your fiduciary duty to this community. So I ask you to reconsider those words. Thank you.
Next up, we have Margot Logan.
Okay. Hi. Thank you. I'm Margot Logan. I've come many times. I am a former CPS investigator and in-depth history. I love the library. I came early and now I borrowed 3 more books. It is a great library and so that's expanding. So I'm hoping that we can have more people come to the board meetings and just love books. And I got another book to donate in pieces by Sally Field. And I think of the young people who come who have had trauma, injury, sexual abuse in their histories. And this is a good book for them to read, to understand. She's very honest about her background. I also brought a ukulele to donate. I have two. The second one, a guy in Vancouver made for me. It's just beautiful, and he's made like 50 ukuleles that he's donated to foster care. So I wanted to do that. Let me say one thing about equity. As I've listened in every board meeting, the only things that I heard as examples of problems was large print books, Braille, and elderly having mobility issues to get here. And so I keep hearing the word equity, but people are not giving examples of exactly what they're worried about that this will happen. But that's just love the libraries. I mean, they've always been important to me. When I was a kid, I went to the library all the time and just going through the bookshelves and what pops out at you that you may not have even thought of. So thank you very much and love the library.
Thank you. Is that okay? That's fine. Thank you.
Next up is Nancy Potter. Nancy will be followed by Joanna Hudson, followed by Ann Bauer.
Okay, my name is Nancy Potter and I live in the Salmon Creek area. My mother, Evelyn Howard, was born in a tent beside Gibbons Creek in 1907. Her mother was one of 8 children born to pioneer families named Gibbons and Bushlack. They settled in the Washougal Cape Horn communities. Mom went on to graduate from Washougal High School, worked at the Pendleton Woolen Mill, and was the only one of her siblings to complete college. As was common in those days for women, she became a school teacher. Mom was a lifelong learner and was curious about all topics. She always had her nose in the book, read to us, and in later life, she enjoyed writing stories. She encouraged all of us kids to higher education, and a big part of that was our visit to the Southeast Portland Library. She would be so proud to know that her hometown was finally getting a big, new, beautiful library. I want to thank all the donors, Jennifer Giltrop's team, the Board of Trustees, the Fort Vancouver Regional Library Foundation, and the Friends of the Washougal Community Library for the support of this new library. I know that this library will be a vibrant hub for the community and help the city of Washougal to continue to grow its civic core. Best of all, it will be a welcoming and safe haven for all who enter these doors and partake of the many services that public libraries offer. Thank you.
Next up, we have Jonah Hudson.
Donna.
Donna, sorry.
Good evening, library trustees. My name is Jonah Hudson, and I'm the current vice president of the Friends of the Washougal Library. First, thank you for bringing your meeting to Washougal. We appreciate the hard work you do to uphold FVRL's long history of service. We also want to recognize our local librarian, Zoe Nash, and her incredible team. We value our close partnership with Zoe, and we work together to champion our library. This is a monumental year for us. With the passage of the library levy, we are finally seeing the dream of a new building become a reality. Our Friends group is more determined than ever to supplement already secured funding. We continue to work hard to raise every dollar we can, and the community response has been inspiring. Local businesses and residents are stepping up in creative ways. A local farm recently hosted us at their annual Easter egg hunt, letting us share our mission with hundreds of families. A local restaurant generously donates a portion of their monthly profits to our cause. And our dedicated book sale team, led by Annalee Franklin, continues to turn used books into building funds through online and in-person sales. Our biggest effort is just around the corner. On April 30th, we are hosting a night of narrative storytelling, music, and a silent auction at the Washougal High School auditorium. This event is made possible by several sponsors and 12 incredibly generous donors. There are flyers on the table with all the details. We would love to see you there. We do all of this because we can see the future, a beautiful, large library for our entire community right across the street. We look forward to the day we can welcome you to a board meeting in that new space to celebrate our shared success. Thank you.
Next up, Ann Bowers. Ann will be followed by Gary Wilson, followed by Marla.
I'm on the ice. Okay. I have 3 statements. I'm gonna be quick. First, Miranda deserves a raise. I have no idea how much Miranda makes. Miranda deserves a raise. Second, I'm speaking today as a private individual. However, most of you know that I spend a lot of my time, personal, professional, voluntary, whatever, supporting library staff. It's like my thing. And I love to do it. And I'm worried. I'm worried that y'all don't respect the staff that you have. And I'm worried you're gonna lose good people, and I don't want to see that happen. Third, the rumors of the closure of the Vancouver Mall branch have once again reached my ears. They're large, so sorry. I think closing the Vancouver Mall branch would do a serious disservice to the community that it serves. I understand that there are serious difficulties having the branch in the mall. I get that. I do think that we still have time to come up with compromises and creative solutions. For instance, moving to one of the strips near the mall that may potentially have lower rent. Having the mall remain open was in the levy marketing materials. That was part of the reason you got people to vote for it. Some of us who worked hard to pass the levy and also support the mall branch would consider that a little bit of a bait and switch, and that would be sad. I have a minute, so I have a secret fourth thing, which is, this is a library. Intellectual freedom is central to our existence. If you don't like that, you are in the wrong place. Thank you.
Next up, Gary Wilson.
Hi, Gary Wilson. Thank you, library board members, for your service. And as always, please continue to err on the side of caution when it comes to programming and materials for the most vulnerable patrons, children. And yeah, I just want to, as a member of the Three Creeks Friends of the Library since 2019, I just want to thank you for stepping back with the strategic plan and, wording it so it'd be more inclusive to everybody. Maybe some words can be used divisively these days, so I appreciate, you guys having a sense of caution there. And also, as far as intellectual freedom, yeah, when it comes to children, though, there's got to be some parameters there. So thank you for mentioning parents there. And it would be the parents of those children. So it should be pretty easy to understand that. But in any event, thank you again for your service. I don't know how much more time I have, but just good job and thanks.
Hi, I'm Marla Koch. I live in Vancouver. I'm so glad to have this meeting in Washougal. I haven't been to Washougal in so long. I had dinner with the Trapdoor. I got to speak in the library on my way in. They do see a need for a bigger Washougal library, and I'm happy to pay for that. I have easy access to our bigger libraries, so 3 Creeks is my home library. The downtown library is an easy reach for me. Happy Library Week, whatever it's called. I did not know, I know I love libraries. I did not know how much I love libraries until this group hop began. And I started coming to the board meetings and I realized that I have found my lane. I'm passionate about libraries. Jennifer, I heard you say something at the Clark County Council Workshop that we hope that our library has something to affect everybody. And I can't stand behind that more. And I think about a man who spoke at a meeting recently, and he said that he watched a father and son at a Vancouver library playing a shoot 'em up game on the computer, and he would not choose that for his child, and I wouldn't choose it for mine. But this father and son looked like they were having a great time, and he hoped that maybe that son would grow up and that would be a fond memory for that man of a time with his father. I want to thank the board. I don't agree with the direction it's taking, but I know you're all volunteers and you're giving your time and you're doing what you think is right to do, and thank you for your time. The word equity, we've stricken it from the plan. I hope we don't strike it from our hearts. I've heard the board members who voted against it speak in favor of equity over and over. So I'm not sure why we had to strike the word, but I hope we keep the idea. And we struck championing literacy and changed it to open doors. I hope we continue to champion with bookmobiles, with events, with the community read, all the different ways we draw people into the library, because the library is the common ground for everything. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Is there anyone else in the room that did not sign up to speak that would like to speak? This is your opportunity. All right, I will close public comment and we will move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda as presented?
So moved. So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? All right, Miranda, will you call the roll, please?
Rena Kakarina,
Aye.
Christy Morgan,
Aye.
Megan Dugan.
Aye. Motion passes. We approve all items on the consent agenda, which includes the March 16th minutes and the March claims. And next we have Katrina online with the February 2026 financial statement.
Good evening, board. I am happy to present to you financials from afar for February. In your packet, starting on page 13, we have the statement of cash for February 2026. I will point out a few things on our statement of cash. Most notably, our cash is going down. Our expenses through February 2026 severely outpace our revenues through February 2026. But as a reminder, have no fear. This is to be expected at the beginning of every year, while we await our taxes to come in April and October. We'll see more about that when I go to the next page for revenues. The other thing I will note is that our total cash of just under 14 million does still have us meeting our cash reserve expectations. So we are good there. If we move to page 14, which is our statement of revenues, our first section there, property taxes, you can see that we have just barely collected 1%. Again, this is to be expected. We will see in April's report when we're together in June that this number will change significantly. Overall, including this first section, our revenues are meeting our expectations based on timing of the year and known factors. So February has us at just over 16% of the year. And other than our property taxes, most of our revenues are meeting or exceeding the 16% in the buckets as a whole. I will point out in the other taxes, grants, and contracts area, you see a lot of zeros. That's to be expected based on the timing of those contracts and when those revenues come in. If we scurry down to the miscellaneous section, I will point out a couple of things here. Our investment interest is a little under what we would expect year to date. However, this has to do with our declining cash, and we will see this change once property tax revenues come in April. The other item I want to point out here is under gifts and contributions. We have over $20,000. This is because we received an unexpected gift, a Carnegie donation to be used at 2 of our libraries for capital projects that we have planned this year.
I'm going to interrupt there. Hello? I don't think so. I guess not. It's not green. No. But I can talk really loud. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
That's what being a librarian is all about, right? That Carnegie Foundation gift was made to every Carnegie Library in the country this year. $10,000 for each Carnegie Library to celebrate the nation's 250th birthday. So that's amazing. And we appreciate the impact that Andrew Carnegie made years and years ago that still has such an incredible impact across our country today. So we still have the Golden Dale Community Library that is our operating Carnegie Library. If you haven't been there before, please take a trip out there and see what a wonderful building that is today, years and decades later. So thanks, Katrina.
Absolutely. Moving on to, unless there are any questions about the statement of cash or revenues, I'm going to move on to the statement of expenditures, which is page 15 of your packet. All right. So again, all things considered, nothing not meeting expectations. We have some expenses that are pretty standard and even throughout the year, like our salaries and benefits are pretty standard and consistent. Other items are not so much. And so our supplies are a little under that 16%, but nothing surprising there based on what we have planned, most notably under small equipment, FF&E, and our technology budgeted costs. Our books and materials are at 11%, and staff is working hard to make sure that that stays on trend throughout the year. Other services and charges, our professional services are at 21%, so trending a little bit higher. That is to be expected based on some expenses that we paid in January, including but not limited to our final payment on our strategic and master facilities plan professional service payment. And the very bottom of the other services and charges, you'll see intergovernmental services. This line item is to pay for all of the county election costs. So in 2026, we will pay for Clark County, Klickitat County, and Skamania County. And we have already paid Clark County, and we will be paying Skamania County in March. And then there's a little additional payment that we'll be making for Klickitat County. They split their billing up into two different sections this year, or this go around. So that is what that line item is. And so even though it's showing 84%, we fully expected to pay all of those costs in January and February. Moving down to capital outlay, the two things that I will point out here under buildings owned, there's just under $175,000 showing as expended in February. The majority of that, about $162,000 of that, is related to the crack units, which just in case everybody in the room does not remember, in June of last year, there was a fire at VA. And the crack units is a fancy name for the air conditioning unit for our server room. And so we need to replace those because of the fire, and $162 of the $173,000 there is for that replacement.
And that was at the Vancouver Library. We speak in code here. VA is Vancouver.
Oh. Thank you, Jennifer. I didn't even catch myself. The other thing that I will state on that is because it was a fire, there was or is an insurance claim that's processed, and we received the majority of the insurance funding in 2025. So you'll see a little bit of a revenue expense mismatch on what insurance is covering related to that project. And last but not least, under machinery and equipment, you see just over $81,000 on that line item. Some of you may recall we tried to purchase the vehicles last year, and we weren't able to complete that purchase in December of last year. So vehicles got moved into this year's budget, and that is the purchase of 2 Subarus as planned. Any questions on your February financials from afar?
No. Thank you, Jamie. All right, is there a motion to receive and file the February financial statements as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Move this to a vote, Miranda.
Irene Pepperina,
Aye.
Morgan,
Aye.
Megan Dugas.
Aye. We move to approve receiving and filing the FVRLibraries financial statement. And next we have Alicia and Jennifer with the organizational report.
So I'd like to take a minute to introduce our new strategic initiatives and public records officer, Brett Auger. Just wave, Brett. Brett's been with us for just a couple of weeks now, 2 weeks, and already is fulfilling public record requests. As a local government, we are subject to disclosure of public records per the law, and we get a lot of public records requests, which takes a lot of time and energy to pull together and provide for people. We take it very seriously. We understand that we work for the people. And so this year, I think we've had almost 30, approximately 30 requests, and we're only in April. So I share that with you because Brett will be digging into that. She also will be working with the whole team across the district as we implement the strategic plan and track all of our progress towards achievement. So more to come on that this year, as our reports will look different as we get closer towards the end of the year and have more to report. But we welcome Brett and thank her for joining us.
All right. Hello, good evening. Just want to share some of the great programming and outreach that's happening around the district. First, in Battleground, just wanted to mention their kids book club. They just recently read Planet Omar, Accidental Trouble Magnet, which sounds amazing. I think I'm and that's by Zanib Mihan. They were able to look at the globe and find London and Pakistan. They also made Picasso-like art. They learned about Ramadan and other custom of Omar's family. So that was really fun for the kids book group. And then moving to Goldendale, they have been having Teen Hangout, and they've been able to host a series, Intro to Fiero Code, that is available on our databases, and that is an online resource. And this is where students can learn to code, build websites, and there's also tutorials that they're able to work on their own as well. So that's really great. This one was really fun in the center. The kiddos were able to watch a short video on how birds build nests, and then they had to do that. And most of them found it harder than it looked, but you can tell from the photo that it looks like they had a really, really great time doing that. And then also many great things for adults. Volunteers from Skamania County Sheriff's Search and Rescue were able to give a presentation on safely hiking in the gorge. It was hybrid, so they were able to host folks that were also maybe out of the area or out of town that are planning to hike in the gorge. So really great that they could offer that program. And then at Three Creeks, during tax season, their meeting room is heavily used and they have to rearrange a story time. They offer an evening story time during this time on Wednesdays. And of course, it was pajama story time. But they've seen a big increase in participation, and they had 47 participants for their story time in March, which is really, really great to see. In Woodland, they just successfully launched their seed library, so patrons are super excited about that. We have several across the district. And then another great community partner in Yale, the Red Cross, they just had a program teaching kids about preventing and preparing for fires, especially wildfire prevention. And then I'll just end with a couple of programs. Our programming and outreach department, they've helped partner at different library locations and then also different places in within Vancouver. It's called Reading in Action, and it's just a really great program. This last one was at Isabella Court, which is an affordable housing apartment complex. But they partner with the foundation, so thank you, foundation, as well as with FVRL staff, and they're able to really strengthen family literacy. Every week, the library brings dinner. It's an interactive story time, and then we're also able to provide families with themed books to go home so that they can continue that practice at home. And then just one last thing from POD, as it's finally called, Programs and Outreach. The Read While You Wait bins, those are being refreshed. And this is different sites around town where you might have your kids with you, and we provide bins so that there's activities and those sorts of things. So the one that's pictured is actually at Vancouver City Hall. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Alicia. I pressed a button, but it's still great. Just to give a shout out, both the Reading and Action program that Alicia mentioned and the Read While You Wait bins are funded through our library foundation. So we always want to thank them and recognize the work they do to help us. Those are two. It's National Volunteer Month. So thank you, board members, for volunteering your time with us. We appreciate that. I want to thank Megan Dugan, who came to the volunteer recognition reception this past Saturday at Vancouver. And then the prior week, we had a volunteer reception at Stevenson for our Gorge volunteers. All in all, I think we saw about 140 people come and be thanked for all of the work they do across the district. And in 2025, 862 people contributed close to 38,000 hours of time. That is incredible. We could not do what we do as staff without all of the incredible volunteers that work with us. There was a theme this year to the volunteer receptions. We do not donate know what we do without you. So it's all about donuts. If you missed it, you missed the donuts. But nonetheless, it was a great time. And we thank Sherry Braga, our volunteer services coordinator, who continues to be enthusiastic about everything that the district does and tries to engage people across the service area to get involved in volunteerism across the library. So thank you for that. It is National Library Week, and I was thinking about that. It's my 29th National Library Week. How about you?
Then I'm not counting.
Oh, not counting. Oh. So every year is fun. This theme is Find Your Joy. And I think we all need to find our joy, right? Joy is a great thing. It celebrates the many ways that libraries bring meaning, connection, and inspiration to people's lives. In a world full of noise and distraction, libraries remain welcoming spaces where individuals can discover what matters most, from learning something new and connecting with others to simply finding a moment of joy. Libraries support people every step of the way. And so with National Library Week, today is the Right to Read Day, a national day of action supporting the freedom to read. Tomorrow, Tuesday, please go to your library and thank the library worker because it's National Library Workers Day. It's a time to recognize and celebrate the invaluable contributions of library workers. You can thank those in the room early before you leave, but please go to your library tomorrow and give them a shout out. On Wednesday, we celebrate National Library Outreach Day, honoring those who meet patrons where they are and expand access beyond the walls. So obviously we do this through our bookmobiles in Skamania and Klickitat County, soon Clark County this summer, but also, as Alicia has pointed out, through our programs and outreach division. And every branch across the district does outreach in their communities. So we'll celebrate all week long. Thursday is Take Action for Libraries Day, encouraging advocacy and support for libraries at all levels. And all of you in this room do that each and every day, and we thank you for that. don't stop. Go tell 20 of your friends the most important thing they can do this week is use their library. So please welcome them back to the library if they haven't been in for a while, or if they were in yesterday, you can come every day. We're good with that. We love all of our friends. So thank you, everybody. Happy National Library Week. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is we do have two new board members that have been or are in the process of their appointment process. They're not official yet, but they are both here this evening. So I wanted to welcome them. Richard Allmayer from the Skamania County, position 3, he'll be filling. Richard will be hopefully appointed by the May board meeting officially. We never know until it happens. And then Jamie Cavanis is being appointed to position 5, City of Vancouver seat. So thank you both for coming tonight, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you very much. And as you see, we only have 3 tonight, so we'll welcome more, right?
Definitely.
The Washougal building. So we are making great progress on the Washougal building. We have completed design development and are finishing our recosting of the project, estimated right now at about $19.5 million. The good news is we think we are on our way from both what the district has set aside and planned for and all of the private giving from our friends of the library groups to state grants to philanthropy ran through our foundation, that we're going to be real close to having it all paid for this year. So we'll announce more later on about that. But what I will tell you is we're planning for a community update session July 17th in this room. There'll be more details shared soon on that. And that will be a night where the architects, Hacker Architects, will be here with lots of display panels and giving a presentation, not only about the building, but its materials that will be used, how it will function, and then what the timeline is. Sneak peek, we are working really hard to break ground this year. So this year goes till December 31st, everyone. But we're working hard on that. So that deserves a lot of applause, right? Okay, 2 more quick things. Everything I'm saying isn't in your packet. Uh-oh. Community reads. So Community Reads, Tilt, a novel by Emma Pate, is all over the district being read. Raise your hands in the room if you've gotten a book, you're reading the book, great. And Emma will be here to provide author events in all 3 counties. May 6th in White Salmon, May 7th in Stevenson, and May 13th at the Vancouver Library. So please read the book, come to one of those sessions. And in addition, at the Stevenson Community Library and online, we have some earthquake events related to the topic of the book. So check us out, get a flyer. I'm sure the Zoe might have some if you need one. Another thing that we're doing this year for the first time is a One Book, One Coast. More than 100 library systems across the West Coast, and we are one of them, will be doing a live stream watch party of George Takei's They Called Us Enemy. And that book is available in an unlimited format from a digital aspect. We probably do have some print copies, but you have better luck online this time with the whole West Coast reading. So lots of exciting things. And while I'm at it, I'm going to put one more key in. It was mentioned during public comments, but the Friends of the Washougal Library are doing a night of story, song, and community on Thursday, April 30th from 6 to 8:30. The flyer looks like that. It's in the back of the room. Please come. It's really a fun way to both fundraise for the library, but also see the great talent we have in our community. Any questions? No.
Thank you. We're ready for you, though, the Washougal branch report.
Hold the
microphone.
Wait 3 seconds.
Hi, welcome. Thanks for having me. Jump right in. Okay. So over this last year, Washougal had 45,000 people visit us. We circulated over 83,000 items. We held 223 programs, and we had 2,500 people attend those programs. And we offer a variety of programs for all ages that foster imagination and inclusion from our family story time. As you can see, that picture on the right is a crammed story time. Read to a dog, we do Kids Create, STEM Lab, and one of my favorite events was our STEM Lab, and we did this mystery challenge, and the kids had a bag of stuff, recyclables and that kind of stuff, and they had a mystery challenge. They could also buy extra items with some money or thrown in a little financial literacy at them. But they had so much fun just building these contraptions and just using their imagination. And each kid probably asked for like another challenge. I want to do another challenge. And a couple of parents were like, oh, this is a great activity. Like my kids were busy for an hour and all you had were these recyclables and some craft supplies. So I love that. I love seeing things that parents know that they can, do at home. And then another thing that I loved about some of our programs this year is we have a group of adults with developmental disabilities, and they participate in one of our weekly craft programs. And it's just really great to see them enjoying the activities and interacting with other participants. And they've mentioned how they feel really welcome and included at the library. And they've also mentioned how that's not the case at a lot of other places. So I love that the Washougal Library can be that place that we are inclusive and, again, foster that imagination. We're also offering welcoming spaces and staff. And yes, we're a small space, but we do what we can. So this photo on your left is our tabletop role-playing game club. And sometime in April, I don't remember the month, or last year, I'm sorry, not April, this one. We had 2 kids that had never come before, never participated. They were really shy, and they didn't come together. They came separately. They were kind of like, oh, I'm here for the D&D. Where do I go? I've never played before. Is this going to be okay with me? And then I poked my head in like 30 minutes later, and they were laughing and having so much fun. And then when they came back out, they were talking to the other kids. And so I just love that my staff have created a space where these kids can feel welcome and, just a space that they can open up and make friends. And we always have a kid, he's a library regular. And he's reluctant to participate in a lot of the activities, but he loves D&D. And he's always like, is D&D today? Is it today? It was today. And then on the other side, there is our teen hangout, and we made caramel apples last fall. And the kids really enjoyed crushing up all the candies. They put so much caramel and so much candy on these apples, like you wouldn't believe it. But again, we're such a small space, and I love that we have created this welcoming space that these teens kind of want to come and hang out and spend some time. We also offer social connection and lifelong learning. We have our annual Reef program. Gosh, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. You're the best. And this program is super popular. This year we drew over 30 participants. If we had more space, we could have more. And so one of the stories from that is we had a woman who was telling me that her neighbor had signed her up for this workshop. And then she asked her neighbor, how much does this cost? How much do I owe you for this workshop? And, her neighbor told her nothing. It's free. It's the library. And she was just like blown away. She's like, this is fantastic. Like, this is such a great value. I can't believe that this is free. And then another great event that we had was our intro to bird watching, which we did at Steigerwald. So we had a naturalist come and she let everybody kind of walked around the nature preserve and talked about, just the wildlife and how to identify things. But what's really great about this is we had like such an age range from like young adults to older adults. And everybody kind of bonded over their shared interest of learning about birds. And I love that one participant said, like, I'm so excited. I'm coming back. I'm going to bring a chair and I'm just going to sit out here and look at birds. And so I love that we were able to provide that for them. I can't talk about the library without not talking about summer reading. We had a very successful summer reading program this past year. We had over 500 people participate in our summer reading program. And one of our biggest attended programs was the Creature Teachers Reptile Show. Animals are always a hit. We had 110 people. So there's probably about 40 chairs in this room. So like 3 times the amount of that were here in this room to be reptiles. And then another great one was our hula and 75th anniversary ice cream social. And we had 70 plus people attend that. And so that was really great. And when we're not in the building, my staff are out doing outreach. So last year we attended 70 plus events in the community and we engaged with over 1,700 people. One of my favorite events from that was the Spanish speaking family night. And this was hosted by the school and we were able to go and pass out books in Spanish. And what was really great is the kids came, they ran over to the table and told us how much they love the library. And even the parents were just very excited that we had books in Spanish for them and they got to take them home. Another thing I'm proud of this year is our partnerships and community connections. In May, we wrapped up our Reading in Action program, which was talked about a little bit earlier. But we brought together 10 families for 4 weeks for book discussion and a related activity. And then we use these topics to just encourage that literacy and encourage family with that hands-on cooperation. And we had a really good time. And one participant approached and said that her family had just moved to the area and she was really appreciative of the connection with the other families. Not only, are we connecting people with library resources, we're connecting them to each other in their community. And then I can't talk about the library without talking about the Friends of the Library. In 2025, we had 25 volunteers who donated 1,350 hours. And they've been out there advocating for libraries, new library building. They're raising awareness. They're leading their fundraising efforts. I'm going to talk about the storytelling event again. So last year was their first annual. This is the second annual. It's April 30th. Get your tickets. It was really fun. It's going to be fun this year too. Okay, and lastly, I just want to talk about our seed library. This is something that we've had for the last, I have to do math, 8 years. Thank you. For the last 8 years. And it just gets more and more popular every year. But what I love about this is that this was a response to a community request. Our community members asked for this. And so we made it a reality. And that's it. Any questions?
Do you just throw seeds? What is it for?
Oh, yeah. So you can come and check out seeds. You can check out up to 3 packets per visit. And so hopefully the idea is that you go home and you grow these seeds and then you get a beautiful tomato plant or whatever it is that you're growing. And then at the end of the season, you bring back some seeds and then we kind of recycle them and it's a self-perpetuating project.
Where can you get tickets for the event on April 30th?
Well, you can scan the QR code that's on our flyer and you can purchase tickets online, or you can also purchase tickets at the door. But we would love if you purchase tickets in advance.
Good, thank you. Thank you.
I just want to say last month, if any of you were at the Three Creeks Library, our branch manager sang her report. But I think so, did a great storytelling tonight. It's always great when you're working on a new library, to also, include the branch manager in that process. So I was very involved, in all of the meetings around design and what we're talking about. And it's, as a librarian, you don't always get to build a new building. So it's always great when you get to be involved in those. Very enthusiastic. I keep saying, well, what do you think about this? So she's like, well, right now we don't have anything. So, sure. That'll be great that I can turn around with my staff in the workroom. So anyway.
Yeah, go ahead. That report.
Okay, so we have been talking about this project at the Vancouver Community Library for 2 years. And last year we had budgeted for it, but we would never got to being able to pull it all together. So we have now pulled together a formal bid, evaluated the bid, and this is to replace the 5th floor deck at the Vancouver Community Library, which is celebrating its 15th anniversary this year. Basically oops, that's me. Hello. The wood joists were spaced at 2 inches apart. They should have been placed at 1 inch apart. 15 years later, we have to do something about it. So these pictures were to help demonstrate the tripping hazards that are there. But if you were in the building looking out, I don't have any of those pictures here, you would see, what do you call this?
A sag.
A sag, yes. And it's not good. So what will happen is, all of the wood boards will be removed, the understructure will be rebuilt. And then, new, decking will be put on that, is better for rainy weather. And so, it is a fairly expensive project, as you will see. We did budget this year $750,000 for the project, and I'm happy to report that all of the bids came in under that, well, except for one. And with this, we go with the lowest and most responsive bidder, and so that is Tika Incorporated. And so per our best practices around public procurement, and with the amount here, over $350,000, we're coming to you to ask you to approve me to negotiate the contract with Tika so we can move the work forward. There is, you can ask questions, and then the next topic is a resolution for you to vote on that.
When can they start that and when will it be finished? Did they estimate that?
In the room?
Yes.
Can you come up, Jason, and take my microphone and answer those questions for me? Introduce yourself first.
Hi, I'm Jason Reitz. I'm the Facilities and Fleet Director.
Oh, I just wondered if they estimated when they can start and when it might be finished.
We anticipate like a mid-June start date and be done by the end of July.
That's awesome. All right, thank you.
Any other questions?
I don't have any questions. Irina, do you have any other questions for Jason or Jennifer?
No.
Thank you. So our next order of business is resolution 2026-04, agreeing to negotiate the contract for Vancouver Community Library Deck Project. Is there a motion to approve that resolution as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Miranda, please call roll.
Irina Kakarina,
Aye.
Christy Morgan,
I
Aye, motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are there any comments from the board?
No.
This is my 35th National Library.
That may beat Megan.
And I do want to also recognize Sherry Braga for her tireless enthusiasm in support of our volunteers. And she was also here in 1991 when I first began working for FVRL. So good job, Sherry. Keep it up. And our next regular meeting is Monday, the 18th, 2026 at the Stevenson Community Library and on Zoom at 6 p.m. And with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Good night.